Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Really glad to have you here today. Today's episode is brought to you by the amazing ground control Cyclops Brewer from Voga Coffee. This is a revolutionary piece of equipment, and I don't say that lightly. A lot of things have not changed over the years in terms of brewing coffee, but one thing that has changed is batch brewing, and that is thanks to the ground control Cyclops Brewer. The folks at Voga Coffee employ SCA award-winning technology to give you unprecedented control over flavors that you never thought possible in the coffee. And on top of that, this machine is versatile enough to brew tea, hot chocolate, batched iced lattes, batched cold brew, but it's also extremely versatile in what it can do for your coffee bar. So if you want your customers to experience efficient service in the ultimate quality batch brew, then I definitely recommend you get a ground control in your store. Go find out more information over at vogacoffee.com. That's VOGA coffee.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Espressly, working with independent coffee shop owners like yourself to bring together the experience that customers love about your shop with a beautiful, functional, branded mobile app. Part of what draws people to come to you is how they experience your brand. But when it comes to mobile ordering, sometimes that experience is less than stellar. And that's exactly the problem that Espressly solves for you by bringing those two things together in a no-risk model where there's no setup or development fees. You get a drive-through payment scanner, receipt and label printing capabilities. It integrates with some of the world's best payment processing systems. It stores the value in the app, plus you get to keep all of the data. And so if you've ever thought about getting into mobile ordering, which I'm guessing in this day and age you probably have, then I recommend for your business that you check out Espressly. To get more information and sign up, go visit them at espressly.co. That's espressly.co. Okay, everybody. Well, I wanted to quickly come to you today to talk about your decisions and how your presence, your words, everything you do has weight to it that other people don't have to necessarily factor in to their words. Now, I know everybody has to be responsible for their actions and for their words, okay? But if you have authority, it's even more so than other people. So when we're talking and when we're dreaming, when we're visioneering or whatever it is that you want to use, we have to be careful that we're not just talking about our plans and desires in such a way that leads people to become disenfranchised because we actually led them to believe that we were going to do something about that. You know, that's a really good way to get people to not trust you. And if you're a verbal processor like me, that can be pretty hard because you're just kind of thinking out loud. You're just like, you know, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can go to a trade show. Maybe we can get this new machine. It wouldn't be cool if we had a second location, or we can get a manager in here and that would be really interesting. And everybody who kind of wants those things, the people that live in the systems that might be a little dysfunctional, who would benefit greatly by that just off the cuff idea that you had, all of a sudden their heart skips a beat and they're like, oh, is the owner talking about the thing that I really want? A dishwasher? Oh my gosh. And they just start talking to people about dishwasher. I heard, the owner's talking about a dishwasher. And then all of a sudden it never happens. They're like, ugh, well, I guess it's just talk. And it's not like you were trying to defraud these people. It's just that you didn't realize the impact of your words. And so I want to encourage you, be aware that what you discuss with people can often come out like a promise of things to come. So we have to be careful there. Well, let's take this a step further. Let's talk about our decisions that we do actually make. Okay. So trust is built on follow through. Trust is built on your ability to see something through, not even to the end, but to an end that's not yet defined, like being committed, basically. Let's say that you do make a decision to get a dishwasher or something like that, or you make a decision to change something about the way that the shop operates. We're going to do this, you say. We send out a memo. Its words are crafted in such a way as to make people's hearts skip a beat and make them just like on the battlefield in Braveheart. Like they're ready for this thing. But then what happens is everything fizzles out because you just don't have the energy. Like all the energy that you had for this decision went into that email or that all hands meeting that you made people go to. But all of that energy now is spent and life happens, you get distracted, and then you're just like, oh, what happened to that thing? Sorry, it was like 2 weeks ago, but we never really talked about it again. This happens in coffee shops all of the time. All of the time. And it probably happens in just every kind of business environment, but I've experienced it so much in coffee that it has really taught me, unfortunately, to never trust people's words unless you see their commitment to that thing after the announcement, after the communication, unless you see that actually things are ramping up, not down. And what that means is this: if you see that somebody has communicated, we're going to change this aspect of part of our bar, and they only start to get more focused on that and more communicative, and there's more follow through, that's a person who has decided to commit to this thing before they even told you about it. People who fizzle out, they don't commit to it before they communicate. In fact, while they're communicating to you in the meeting, it's almost like they're still trying to convince themselves that they want to do it. And if their heart's not in it, no one's going to really take that much ownership over it because it was their idea to begin with. But if you're not even committed to your idea and the work that it takes to see it through, then nobody else is going to be either. And again, that's a great way to get people to not trust you, not get buy-in, and you wonder why people won't upsell at the register or why they're not excited about your business and all this other stuff. It's because you're not as committed as you want people to be. We have to make lasting decisions. We have to commit before we communicate. We have to realize our words have impact and use them wisely and get our stuff together before we try to get people together for our stuff. And when we do that, you're going to see people buy in, you're going to see people start to develop trust, and they're going to help the process along. It's a really beautiful thing, but it starts with commitment to the long haul from you from the beginning. So I hope that this episode was helpful for you today. Now, I wanted to mention one of the things that I do for my consulting clients, no matter what kind of consulting they're getting with me, is we have phone calls. And if doing any kind of over-the-phone consulting where we can talk about problems, we can talk about ideas, projects, whatever it is you've got going on in your shop, questions, if that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to have some remote over-the-phone consultation, I would love to help you in any way that I can. Reach out to me through my email, chris@keystotheshop.com. Just like the kind of things that we cover here on the Shift Break episodes, you know there's a lot of stuff that we can cover in 1 hour of phone conversation, and it's been helpful to so many of my clients. I know it'll be helpful for you as well. And with that, I say thank you, have an awesome day, and I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, From Keys to the Shop.